Well, my father wanted me to be a doctor. As a child, he would always remind me, you know, we don't have any doctors in the family. You need to be the first doctor. And so that was basically ingrained in my head from day one, from the age of 8, that I was going to be a doctor.
When you truly follow one percenters, when you truly look at them, guess what? They're not addicted to the money or addicted to anything else. You have to be addicted and obsessed about progress. Progress into me in 5 areas of life: faith, family, fitness, finance, fun.
A hard reality hit when I realized I don't like the sight of blood. But I wanted to please my father in some way, you know, try to make his dreams in my life come true. So I pursued the dream. And so I was like, well, what can I do to satisfy my father's expectations, you know, of becoming a doctor without having to see blood and be afraid of blood, and also, you know, to have a lifestyle where I'm not always on call, where I can actually enjoy my life being a doctor. And so as I was applying for colleges, I noticed that many of the colleges that I was applying to had pharmacy programs. And at the end, you could get a doctorate in pharmacy. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to become a pharmacist. I don't have to deal with blood. I don't have to work 24 hours a day. I don't have to be on call. I can still be married and have a good, happy life. You know, I can have more freedom and flexibility. So I enrolled in all of these, or I signed up for all of these programs, put in my application, and wouldn't you know it, Texas Southern University here in Houston, Texas, was the first to say yes. And so I packed my bags in Canada, moved down here, and enrolled in Texas Southern University, TSU, and graduated with a pharmacy degree. And it has been a great profession. I have done so much as a pharmacist. I have taught, I have owned my own pharmacies, I've worked with healthcare companies, now I work for a major retailer, I've done consulting, academia. It's just been wonderful. And, you know,
what's academia?
Academia, I taught at the college level, at the university level, at the School of Pharmacy. Even wrote publications. I'm a published pharmacist. Got accepted into one major medical journal. Attended conferences, spoke at conferences, even did research. It has been absolutely rewarding, so rewarding. Life as a pharmacist is very, very hectic. You have to take care of so many patients. And you've got to make sure that you don't make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, it could cause someone serious harm. So it requires a lot of focus, a lot of attention, and really a lot of personal care. You may not always see that patient that you're taking care of right there and then, you know, but you have to visualize that every prescription that you're filling for a person, that person matters. You have their life in your hands at that moment as you're dispensing their medication. So I take it very seriously. I don't take it lightly. At one point, pharmacists were the most admired professions in the world, next to pastors and priests. We actually did a survey. You know, the top 3 professionals that you admire. Number 1 was a pastor or priest, and number 2 was a pharmacist. We beat the doctors. So there's a lot of trust and confidence that the community has in us. So it's been good. I'll do it as long as the good Lord will allow me to. And yes, it has been very, very rewarding in many, many ways.
How do you balance all of that with your personal life and your business? Or does it balance?
Well, I aspire for balance. I make balance. I make balance happen in my life. Pharmacists have long days. And if you're on the retail level, you stand on your feet. You don't really get to sit down, and you don't get any breaks, and the lunch is very, very small. So it's very tiring, it's very exhausting. There's a lot of pressures there as well, especially now in the pandemic. A lot of people are being diagnosed with coronavirus, and so, you know, a lot more people are getting sick. A lot more people need treatment. A lot more people need you to take care of them. So we're just seeing a lot of patients coming in, a lot more than before.
Is it something that, because you said pharmacists beat doctors, what is it that you give your clients that you feel like would make that, you know?
Well, we explain a lot of things to them. It's not like, you know, you find out in the doctor's office these days that they don't even have 10 minutes with their patients. Okay? There's not a lot of time between patients and doctors' visits. Doctors are just boom, 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 boom. But a pharmacist is going to take their time to explain everything that they can to the patient and really, you know, get the assurance from the patient that they understand exactly what is expected of them when they take that medicine, and what to do if there's any concerns with taking that medicine. And so that rapport, where we're always available one-on-one, even on the phone, where they can call us up while we're open and just ask us a question about whatever they're taking, that develops a relationship, a connection, a real genuine connection of trust. And we are one of the healthcare professionals that do that in a very uncommon way, especially in the state of Texas. We are, by law, we have to counsel patients on every new prescription, even if they've taken it before. Once it's classified as new, we have to get in front of them and talk to them and explain it to them, everything. How to take it, what to look out for, what happens if you don't take it, the side effects, the adverse effects, things like that. We're currently always making sure that we're giving good quality patient care.
So that sounds like you have to study. We can walk. Let's actually sit on the steps. Oh, nice.
Gooey, gooey, melty, mouth-watering, chocolatey, baked-to-order warm cookies. It can only be Tiff's Treats, the original warm cookie delivery. Go to cookiedelivery.com to get cookies delivered interaction-free today.
Do you study continuously, or do you focus on your business? Are you trying to create an exit strategy, or are you broad? You want to keep all the...
Well, my role is twofold, okay? Because not only am I a staff pharmacist where I actually, you know, work the bench, that's what they call in terms of filling prescriptions, but I'm also a manager. I'm in management as well. So to answer your question, my focus is twofold: on the business and clinical services, which involves the patient. And so I believe there's much more pressure there, because not only do you have to take care of the patient, but you have to make sure you're profitable. You know, nobody hires you unless they know you can make money, especially on the pharmacy level. So the pressures are economic, as well as making sure that you're giving great care at the same time. Patients have a choice in where they can fill the prescriptions. They don't necessarily have to fill it with me. They can always transfer it to another place. And so the whole experience, from the time they come to the front window and drop off their prescription to the time where you give them their bag and counsel it, has to be on point. Or there's a danger that they can take their refills or their next prescription elsewhere. Or they can post something on social media and say, I had a terrible experience, don't come here. Or something wasn't right, you know. So every patient we have to treat as though they are the only patient, even though they aren't. But we give that special attention, that care, where they'll say, you know what? I love the way that Allison took care of me. She's the pharmacist that I want to take care of me and my family. You know, she's the pharmacist for our family. And so it takes relationship building, right? And also just spending a little bit extra time just to say, you know what, thank you for your business. We know you can go elsewhere, but thank you for filling your prescriptions here.
I hear you. So about the exit strategy, is there one, or are you looking to elevate in every area, even like pharmaceutical and your business?
Absolutely. I'm always looking for places and areas to grow. I have been a pharmacist for a very, very long time, and I believe I'm quite good at it. But I also know that I'm There's other skill sets and talents in me that I'm good at as well. And so I'm always looking for opportunities to be able to master those things. I like people. Next to pharmacy, I think the thing that I love the most is ministry, Women of Valor. I would love to be able to do Women of Valor full time, not only on a ministerial level, but on a humanitarian level. I would love to be able to go to Africa and feed the poor, take care of the orphans, things like that under the umbrella of Women of Valor.
Where do you find time to work on Women of Valor?
On my days off. And you make time for the things that you love. I sacrifice sleep. I sacrifice days off. I sacrifice rest. I sacrifice my own personal finances. Women of Valor is not self-sufficient. She's my baby and I take care of her well. So wherever Woman of Valor has a need, I'm the one that is obligated to fulfill it. But this year we did take a very, very aggressive step of trust and we began to solicit partnership. And that's coming along nicely. I thank all my partners. Thank you, partners. They've been giving on a monthly basis and helping out. We hope that they can grow in the future.
Nice. So, and last question, with your personal life, how does all this work? I mean, like, how many days off do you have? And you say you sacrifice days off, so what about your family and your 4 children?
Well, when I do work, it's 10-hour days. Okay, and as soon as I get home and I become a mom. You know how we do it as women. We're multifaceted. I mean, we have a hat, but we wear several of these. Okay, so I'm a mom, I'm a pharmacist, I'm a manager, I'm an evangelist, and whatever else that they want to call me. But you know how to balance things. I make ample time for my children on my days off. And even on my days off, while I'm at work, they know that they can get in touch with me. They know how to reach for me at work. They know how to text me. But in terms of my family, I believe, and I think many people would agree with me, that family is your first ministry.
You said you know how to balance. And I think there might be somebody out there who does not. So tell me one thing that you've incorporated to, like, is it like something to remind you? Is it something that just anything like a calendar that you put on your wall, like something that you incorporated that made you be able to organize? And like, these are 3 different things. Like, I'm not sure if everyone knows.
Well, the first thing I do is I listen to my body in terms of self-care. When my body's tired, I allow it to rest. Some of these things people are ignoring about themselves. Okay, self-care is part of your balance. Ample rest, right diet, enough water, enough food. Okay, so I make sure self-care is part of it. So I do things like get my nails done. I treat myself to a spa maybe once a month. Go take long walks on my days off. Little exercise. I like to watch movies, things like that. Okay, so I do that balancing act. With my children, I'm always there for them. It's not like I have to make time for them. There is time for them. They are my priority. I don't make time for my children. There is time for I don't have to make time for my children. I don't understand when people say that, make time for you. No, there is always time for my children, no matter what I'm doing. Okay, they are as much a part of the equation as, my existence. There is no subtraction there. They're an addition. They are an addition that I will not subtract. And in regards to God, well, I make time for Him. My prayer life occurs at night. While others are sleeping, I'm up praying at the midnight hour. I actually have a prayer ministry called Women of Valor Global Revivalists, and we pray every night at midnight until about 1:30 a.m. And I read my Bible at night. So I know many of you are like, why does she have to do this at midnight? Well, that's the time He called me to prayer. Okay, He says pray without ceasing, but that's my prayer time. That's when He called me and inspired me to pray, so that's when I pray.
I know I said the question before last was the last question, but here is the last question for real. You mentioned your children, and I know you really feel strongly about inheritance and leaving money behind for your children. Give me like a little synopsis around like the why. Like what is it why do children need money? Because I didn't have money, and I feel like
Sure.
I'm, you know.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's establish one thing. It's a biblical truth. The Bible says that a wise man, a good man, leaves an inheritance for his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the righteous. So it is a biblical principle that a wise man, a good man, will leave an inheritance for his children. It builds legacy. It helps substantiate how their foundation is going to be once that father or mother is gone. And one of the examples, I guess let me just bring it real time to 2020. I recall where one of our presidents, I won't mention his name, one of our presidents has said that his father, when he died, left him only $1 million. But by that father leaving him only $1 million, that same man is a multimillionaire. If I compared him with a child who was born around that same time as he was, whose father left him nothing, I'm sure you're going to see a big disparity between where that person who had nothing from his father's inheritance compared to the person who got the $1 million. You'll see how far ahead of the game that person with $1 million has become. And the child that was left with nothing has not gone very far. We have got to be able to give our children a strong foundation from day one when we exit their lives. It's not just enough for us to bless them and die. We must bless them and give them something in their hand that they can work with so that they can be successful. And so, yes, I feel strongly about it because it's a biblical principle and there are plans in place. I have a plan in place that my children will not suffer if I were to leave this earth. They will not. Mm-hmm. They will not.
That sounds like steps that you have to follow now. It sounds like a start now type of situation.
Well, it's a discipline. From the time they were born, I put those steps in place.
And last but not least, fulfillment. Fulfillment is huge. Tony Robbins talks about, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. I could never understand that because growing up, I was so poor. All I wanted in life was to become successful. I wanted the mansions. I wanted the exotic cars. I wanted the nice clothes. I wanted the nice watches. But you know what? I got here. I'm here now. All my life to me, that was success. I gotta tell you right now, that's not success.
And so I have two that are adults. So if I put that step in place from the time they're born, can you imagine how much they have now? Because I consistently put those steps in place and I was dedicated and committed to it. I didn't cash it out. I didn't take it from them. I didn't stop pouring into it because I understood the importance of leaving an inheritance for them.
Right. So make sure you go sign up for this webinar because don't you have somebody on the panel speaking about obtaining wealth?
I do. I have a self-made millionaire. Her name is Tiffany Montgomery. She is a millennial. She is a best-selling author. She's a single mom, a high school dropout. She doesn't have a degree. Folks, are you listening to me? She does not have a degree. She doesn't have a degree, but she taught herself. She's a self-taught millionaire. A self-taught millionaire. And so she's going to come to the table bringing you all her years of experience of how she was able to get it done. Okay? She is gaining more wealth now in this time of economic crisis than she's ever done before. While others are, the Bible says, while others are saying that there is a decrease or a casting down, there is a lifting for the people of God, and she is living it. No decrease in her life right now. She's actually making more money than she's ever done before. So she's going to bring that knowledge and experience to the table of Women of Valor Expertise. You don't want to miss Tiffany Montgomery. For those of you that are stuck, even you single mothers out there, those of you that dropped out of high school and you made a mistake and there's no way for you to go back to college, your life is not over. It's not over. Tiffany is going to show, she is proven that those things, you don't have to be a statistic based on bad things happening to your life. She's going to show you, she is the role model of how do you overcome every obstacle in your life and be successful. Perseverance, commitment, and having a strong relationship with God. She says it and she brags about it all the time. God is my CEO. He runs my company. I listen to him.
Yeah, she's straight up too. Gives it to you nice and raw. She doesn't play a lot of games. And Periscope is where I first.
Really
about
good.
it. Where can they follow you on Instagram, Facebook?
Sure, on Instagram it's Woman of Valor, VALOURHOU. And for Facebook it's Women of Valor Network or Women of Valor Inspirational Calendar, or you can just holler at Allison Wiley. You can find me in those places.
And I like this wig you have on.
Where is she? Where's my wig lady? Yeah. Where is she? Standing in the background. There she is. Okay, so here's the thing. This lady, can I just brag about you for a second?
Go ahead.
I never met her, okay? Never met her, but she knew that she was coming to take care of me because I needed a wig or wigs. She went and found my picture on Facebook and saw my hair color and my hairstyles and came prepared with like 5 different wigs that I could choose from. I have never had anybody do that. I've never spoken to her, I've never seen her, but she did her research and was prepared, and this is one of them. I'm so pleased with my wig.
You love her? And it's so serious and genuine. She's waiting on her answer.
I think I love you more than I love her, but I love this wig. For someone who's never had a wig and who doesn't have experience with wig, this has been a great experience for me. I just want to admit to you, it's been a great experience for me. This is probably the only second time that I've worn a wig. And she installed it. She had it cleaned. She put it on. Everything. She even got my hair. The hair underneath this thing, she got it ready, wig ready. So indeed, she's a wig stylist, and she came all the way from the East Coast to take care of me. So thank you.
No problem. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yes, thank you. Good work. Good job.
All right, guys. Oh, what's your ad name?
Oh, Natasia.collection. You want to tag it in there?
Yeah. All right. And it's an awesome videographer behind here. We're going to post his stuff right here, too. You give him a follow, and we're out.